You know, I just went to bed at least 3 hours ago because saving the world and being a vigilante is not an easy 9 to 5 job to do. Just say. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Coffee and Comics. I am your host, Jay Wheeler, and yes, I'm wearing Bulls stuff because I have been up since 4:30 in the morning working late at my job, so I don't really care what I'm wearing. So yeah, let's not pay attention to what I'm wearing. Let's pay attention to the stories and the comic books that we're doing today, because it's Review Thursday. So, oh, side note, this jersey I got, by the way, it's Jordan. I got this when I was 12. I am 27 now, and it still fits. There's something wrong. It tells you something's wrong, because if I'm 27 and this still fits when I got this when I was 12, that means my body has not changed forever. And I can possibly be a vampire. Who knows? Anyways, alright, so today we got Review Thursday of reviewing all of these wonderful comic books. I put them in order of series because Hawkeye is pretty much number one. Hawkeye is number one in my eyes because I can't wait to read each issue because they're amazing issues. And then Superman, and then the Bat Family. So, and then plus we got comic book news. See my notes? Can't really see it, but there's flares, lens flares. Alright, so let's go with comic books first, and then news later. Alright, so now we got, I showed you yesterday, Hawkeye, number 12. Oh, yes, number 12. And this issue, it basically is, it's kind of a philosophical issue of, it's a mixture of action and philosophicalness of how Barton learned how to punch a guy when he learned first how to punch a guy from, I believe, his brother in this issue. So it's kind of like a past and showing how Barton learned how to fight till now, where he's still dealing with some gangsters and stuff like that. But like I said, it's very philosophical because of how him and his brother connected on a emotional level, because his brother saw that Barton was getting picked on, and so he showed him how to fight essentially. And so yeah, so it's a little peek into Barton's past, and again, the story is always amazing, and the art, they do amazing things with the art because they do more of telling the story of the comic book with the art than the actual story. So I would say that's a pretty amazing way to read a comic book, is to show more of art than story. Sometimes, not all the time. So, yes, number one pick for me today, and always is, because I love this guy. The Marvel has made Hawkeye a pretty awesome guy to read. All right, so now next we have Superman Unchained, number 2. Uh, okay, so this is pretty cool. I'm starting to like Superman Unchained a little. As I'll read issues, I'll probably like it even more. But and this issue, Superman, he's kind of in his head for the first 3 or 4 pages because he's saving the city from like a prototype uh, battle armor from the army, I think. And then he goes into the cave where Batman is. Batman, this is pre Damien and everyone. Um, and Batman, it's the Batman for the Justice League, so they know who they are, and they're just starting to be friends and everything and trust everyone. And Batman's showing him a suit that uh, can completely be invisible. It won't even work with his uh, X-ray vision, which I thought was pretty cool. But in the story, it just shows that it shows a piece of that where there's like another robot or another person that's superhuman that was destroying army things, and so now the army thinks that Superman is the one that's the one that's doing it, but it's not. It's a cracked out crazy Lex Luthor who is inventing like horrific kind of science robotic District 9 alienish robot armor. So yeah, so this is it's pretty good. I gotta be honest. The art is great. This Jim Lee, and it's Scott Snyder, who is also a great storyteller as well. So if you're gonna read a Superman comic, read this one, and yeah, because don't worry about action. Don't worry about Superman. Don't worry about the adventures of Superman. I would start reading this more than the rest of them because it's got a little different. It has ties in. It has ties in, and it has different stories going on, but all ties in at the same time. So pretty good. Then we have, excuse me, Batman 22 and Year Zero, #2. In this issue, it shows that Batman, Bruce is he's getting out there, and this is before he's Batman, but he's getting out there and he's trying to fight this Red Hood gang, and he's not knowing how to fight him properly. And him and Alfred get into like a big spat, and Alfred calls him like a coward, and Bruce is like, well, F you. And then the Riddler's in this too, but he's not the Riddler. He's just Edward Nigma, and he's giving all these cool riddles, and it has this like cool little circle thing you gotta follow. Here, I will show you the cool circle thing. Here, let me get it out real quick. I thought it was pretty awesome. It was kudos to DC Comics for the cleverness of this. Look, see this wheel right here? No, right here. It's part of the story, but you have to follow the wheel in a circle, or else you'll get confused. But it follows this part. It continues with this part. But I thought that was a pretty clever and fun way to read a page of the comic book. So yeah, but read this. Also read this. Also, don't worry about the other Batman comic books. Read this Batman comic book because it's like I say, it's pre Damian, pre Robin, pre anyone. So it's not the deeply depressed Batman. It's the Batman that's trying to become Batman. So and it is done by Scott Snyder as well. Hence why it's good. So check it out because it's pretty awesome. All right, and then we got Nightwing, issue 22, and it's against the man who murdered his parents. So now that Nightwing is broke and he's living in Chicago, the story doesn't half the story is more background information about why Mr. Zuko is supposedly alive. Also, there's that villain that's been in the start of Nightwing 20, where he's like a clock riddle master, and so he's been toying with Nightwing while Nightwing has been trying to find out why Tony Zuko is still alive. And yeah, it's a massive of just like all this compressed anger and sadness, and just not really explodes, but he's starting to wonder why stuff is getting that way. Also, by the way, I'm loving the new costume idea though. The way he's drawing the costume, it looks pretty. I like this better because it actually looks like a Nightwing costume, not like a Batman-esque Nightwing costume. It's a Nightwing costume. So check this out as well. And then the last but not least, Batgirl 22. This was very emotional and very TNT, drama kind of issue because it starts off good. It starts off like a little good where Barbara Gordon forgets that she has a date with a guy, and the guy comes over and he hands her flowers and she gets all mad, but then her friend convinces her, hey, you need some time out. So she gets all ready, and they go out, and somehow they get mugged, but then they fight some people, and then she kisses him, and it's all happy. Then she sees her dad, and all that stuff. But at the end of this glorious issue, Batman and Commissioner Gordon get really intense with each other because they both lost a son, and now that Commissioner Gordon is kind of getting full of revenge and hate, and so he's telling Batman, "Listen, can you please tell Batgirl to turn herself in?" And Batman's like, "No, I can't do that." And so Commissioner Gordon freaking like cold cocks him right in the chin and says, "Well, never mind then. I was just gonna ask to be polite, but guess what? Now I'm going after her, and you can't stop me. And if you do, I'm going to arrest you as well." Kind of thing. So it was kind of like a threat to Batman saying, "Hey, get out of my way, or I may do something to you." Ugh. So it's getting the pre stuff, like the pre Batman, pre Robin stuff. That's getting good. This this stuff's just getting intense. Like it's not even Batman anymore. It seems like the whole family's kind of like crumbling before our eyes. Like it was so built up before the death in the family, and then now they're just crumbling. So, ugh, that's oof, that's rough. All right, now to the news. All right, so um, since the new Beware the Batman comic book, Beware the Batman animated series is coming out in less than a month, the producers are talking about making a animated series for Batman and Superman. Now, when is it going to come out? They don't know. They're just trying to work out the details. Um, I think that would be cool, but we got to find out which Superman it's going to be. Is it going to be Action Comics Superman, or is it going to be Superman? So look out for that, because that may be pretty awesome. And then, secondly, at Comic Con this year, I keep talking about Comic Con through these videos, but there's so much great stuff that's going to happen this year. It's ridiculous. There's too much. Too much. Um, like I said in earlier video, Marvel's doing a first one-off shot of Agent Carter, Captain America's girlfriend, in the first Captain America's movie. Well, there's a teaser poster out now, and there's photos. Uh, and all these stories I've been talking about for the last 2 days are in the Entertainment Weekly or TV Guide Comic Con issues. So go pick those up if you see them any bookstore or local, grocery stores or anything like that. So I can't wait to see that. I hope I'm going to be able to see that, because I will be at Comic Con. And if you are at Comic Con, I hope you can see it as well, because this looks pretty cool. And then lastly, the guy that's made the last two James Bond movies, he's also confirmed for Bond 24, and the release date for Bond 24. There's no fancy title yet, and there's no villain. There's no storyline. They're just saying that the director is going to be directing the next movie, and that the release date for the next movie is going to be November 6th, 2015. So, let's hope that it's going to be another amazing James Bond, because Daniel Craig is pretty awesome. But we won't know until later on in 2014. See what's going on there. Alright, so thanks for watching. Hope you read more comic books. Enjoy the day, and if you're going to Comic Con, I will see you there. Later.